I sleep at 6 p.m. every night. Okay, maybe not every night, but my point here is that I can finish things fast and efficiently while maintaining my grades and not burning out, at least for now. In context, I'm taking 4 APs this year: AP Calc BC, AP Physics 1, AP Micro, and Macroeconomics. And today I'm going to tell you the 3 steps to success to ace all your tests without being a smarty pants or a tryhard. Number 1, use minimum effort to achieve maximum results. Don't be a tryhard. Tryhards are the people who does all these extra practices but just to fail the test miserably. I was one of those myself, and chances are you're studying the wrong materials. That's why your effort isn't equal to what your results is. Instead, you should focus on what your teacher gives you, for example, practice tests, worksheets, or notes. Or if you happen to be enrolled in an AP class or an IB A-level, whatever, you should go online and find those AP resources that are dedicated to your curriculum and do those instead. But remember, always go back to your teacher's stuff because chances are the stuff that's going to be on your test is going to be stuff that you do in class. One really funny and important method that my friends and I would use to study would be to erase all our answers in our, for example, notes or practice tests, and then go back to it and then do it all again like 3 or 4 times before the test so that we remember everything. And this is useful for only STEM subjects because writing an essay over and over again will actually help you. But yeah, that's just one tip that we do. But what if you're not taking any STEM classes? Well, that's really pretty simple. Say you're completing an English essay. You should find the fastest and most efficient way of completing this essay. You should never spend more time or effort than what you're going to get in return. Or in economic terms, you should never buy the good if your marginal cost exceeds your marginal benefit. For example, say you want an A for this essay, and you know that writing it for 2 hours, hypothetically speaking, gets you an A, and writing for 6 hours will get you an A+. Then, logically speaking, you will do 2 hours of writing. So what are we exactly doing in that minimum amount of effort that we're putting in? That brings me to my second point. Learn to understand and not for an A+. Last year, I had 2 completely new subjects, computer science and physics. And for the first semester, I was really lost and I didn't know what was going on, which resulted in pretty bad grades. However, this year, I faced a new subject, again, economics. And this year, I learned from my mistakes from last year, so let me explain. The key of understanding something brand new will be developing a strong understanding before the thing is even taught. But you're gonna say, oh, but this is too late, right? I'm already 1 month into my lesson. What am I supposed to do now? Well, before I get into that, I want to explain something else. Most subjects build on top of each other, which means that you have to set a strong foundation or else everything else that you build on top will just come toppling down, which is what happened to me in the first semester of last year. That was learning. So what about test taking? So before each night of a test, I would obviously cram a lot, just like every other student. But what I think that sets me a bit aside from other people is that I study for the sole purpose of understanding rather than getting an A+. Or in other words, I would jinx it if I do it basically the other way around. I have developed a psychological effect that if I study for the purpose of understanding the material rather than getting a good grade in it, it'll result in me getting a good grade rather than not. So yeah, that back to the question of because you don't have enough time, therefore you can't get ahead. That is completely not true. This leads to my third point, which is develop a system. In one of my dreams, God placed an intelligent person who told me, quote, you should develop a good studying system, and if it works once, it'll work every time, end quote. It was actually Christina Yang from Grey's Anatomy. I don't know how that happened. Okay, but for me, the system would be this: organization. So here is an example of my AP Microeconomics notes for Unit 2. Very tidy, very cutesy, very... Okay, cut the cameras. Everyone has their own methods of taking notes, but this is where the good separates from the great. The other way around. The great separates from the good. Anyways, so the point here is that there's a thing called the forgetting curve. Boom. Which means that one day after you study something, you will forget like 50% of the thing. Which brings me to the point. It's also called the active recall, but I like the forgetting curve better because the graph is literally y equals e to the power of negative x. Like, how cool is that? On my topic, as you see in my notes, there's these things called R1, R3, R6. What this means is for me to indicate revision day 1, revision day 3, etc. So one day after I learn the material, I will revise it, whether it's summarizing in my own words or simply doing practice problems regarding that topic, and then I will write it down. I will also write the things that I missed in a different color so that I would remember it next time. And also, very important is that I'll also write the problems that I did wrong. For example, the problems that I have done wrong on AP Classroom, and I would put it there, highlight it. That's why there's a section called AP Classroom Mistakes. Boom. And I will make sure to not make that mistake again. So you see, I am not an academic genius. But I can also achieve great grades, at least for now. And you are no exception because, if anything, you're better than me. For once, my economic teacher and also this guy named Tim Nutk, is that how you pronounce it? Once said, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And you, my friend, oh my gosh, my finger's long. You, my friend, can work hard and get your grades up by following these 3 simple steps. It'll guarantee success. So let's say again. The first step is use minimum effort to achieve maximum results. Number 2, learn to remember and not to get a good grade. And number 3, revise periodically and develop a system that works. Remember, without hard work, there is no understanding. Without understanding, there ain't no success. Or in the other way, with hard work, there is understanding. And with understanding, you will have success. So get out there and chase that 4.0. Goodbye.